Shalom. This is to all Israelite groups and all Israelite communities and all breakoffs from One West and breakoffs from breakoffs from breakoffs no matter what rainbow uniform you wear, red, white, purple and white, all white, it don't matter. You should all treat the I.S.U.P.K like your weird, misunderstood Sabbaths. You shouldn't do anything until you counsel with the I.S.U.P.K. We'll tell you when and what to eat. We'll tell you who to marry. We'll tell you who to have sex with and how. We'll tell you how to resolve conflicts with your wives. We'll tell you how to resolve conflicts with your kids, your brothers, your sisters, your parents, your friends, everybody. We'll tell you when and how to pray. We'll tell you how to direct your life in a way that's pleasing to the Most High God of Israel and our Black King Yahawashi, aka Jesus Christ. We will be to you instead of a God. Just like the Most High told Moses in Exodus 4:16 that Aaron would be to him instead of a mouth and he would be to Aaron instead of a God. That's what we'll do for you. It is what you all need because none of you know what the fuck you are doing. I pray you understand. Shalom.
A.B. with the keys.
They say the spirit itself bear witness with our spirit that we are the children of God. That's why I'm in all black, booted, ready for war like Yahawashi. Raised under warriors and mighty men just so I can
put my brick in and do his work. Put my brick in and do his work. Beat my ribs, she suffer all my hurt. Give her all my love, she about that work. While I put my brick in and do his work. Put my brick in and do his work. Papa Charles, let me prove a worth. And when the sky falls, it's gonna catch me working. While I put my brick in and do his work. Put my brick in and do his work. Put my brick in and do his work. I mean, put my brick in and do his work. Put my brick in and do his work. Put my brick in and do his work. Watch my arm, and we all been out here. We all about it. My father's work. Yahawashi. I'm from Miss Move all the time. My ladies is found. We follow the order I told you. For the culture, you ain't thought of. Streets I was taught on. Type you can really depart on. Bought, sold, and I fought on. Charges I caught on. They call it the cause of the heart that I got for assault on my block. Snitch, I am not. Hate for a cop. My enemy sinned against me. I'm a sinner. But what they got in them, they healing baptism of Christ. Screaming Yahawashi. Hear my battle cry. Ready to die, no biggie. Hardly offend me. I'm litty. She wanna get with me. I'm picky. Digging the rib till she dizzy. Give it a rapture, get it back rubbed and back to the action. Packing the full metal jacket, never get murked. Putting in my father's work. Never see me with them heathens, my team hated. We the greatest on face of the earth. We the truth, I know it hurt. Fruitless to believe your words. It ain't about nothing, you bluffing. Scared, go to church. True definition of Christian win. You got 15 men, we got 2 or 3. But the difference is we got discipline. Nigga, listen here. War with these warriors, get your whole existence clear. Talking you, your house, all your rich kids. Screaming, oh my God, with the vengeance here. So I put my brick in and do his work. Put my brick in and do his work. Beat my ribs, she suffer all my hurt. Give her all my love, she about that work. While I put my brick in and do his work. Put my brick in and do his work. Papa Charles, let me prove a worth. And when the sky falls, it's gonna catch me working. While I put my brick in and do his work. Put my brick in and do his work. Put my brick in and do his work. I mean, put my brick in and do his work. Put my brick in and do his work. Put my brick in and do his work. Watch my arms and we all been out here. We all about it. My father's work. Chosen rose and concrete. Ain't nothing sweet for a street. Dwelling my record, told the story, selling for cake every day. Do I just wanna celebrate? 1738. Up in my cup like what's up? Is you single to mingle? I'll bring you out the world, show you queendom. Lead you straight to the kingdom. We ain't gon' rush, of course. I was taught the court till you make your mind up and say you mine. Soaking in the oil, smelling so divine. Make me lay hold you 110-5. You was my desire, you're the righteous guy. But I've been so wicked from the dirt. Filling your portion, of course, is more than I'm worth. Just make me get back to this work. Ready for war. Hope came booted. Bulletproof shooters to do what they told. Orders by generals from the Lord of hosts. Double time, nigga, let's go. Blazing on all the beasts in the street, I got heat. Rude speech about they bad luck and they lies till they cross the line. Then they come to find their whole body bagged up. Gotta cut, leaking blood everywhere. For the art that he thought. He told him walk with me when I talk. Simply is that what I talk is the law. Be so heavy though is when I'm watching foes who gon' rock and roll off the hook. Fish the most vicious niggas out malicious conditions. This here isn't for the shook, but watch while I put my brick in and do his work. Put my brick in and do his work. Beat my ribs, she suffer all my hurt. Give her all my love, she about that work. While I put my brick in and do his work. Put my brick in and do his work. Papa Charles, let me prove a worth. And when the sky falls, you gon' catch me working. While I put my brick in and do his work. Put my brick in and do his work. Put my brick in and do his work. I mean, put my brick in and do his work. Put my brick in and do his work. Put my brick in and do his work. Watch my arms and we all been out here. We all about it. My father's work. Put my brick in and do his work. Put my brick in and do his work. Put my brick in and do his work. I mean, put my brick in and do his work. Put my brick in and do his work. Put my brick in and do his work. Watch my arms and we all been out here. We all about it. My father's work. My father's work. Stay close. Danger lurks all around. At every moment, keep your head on the swivel and never let a devil get behind you. We're on course to the kingdom. There'll be all forms of evil ahead. So gird up thy loins and take this sword, and may the Lord show us mercy. So be it. Curse alert the earth, a monster fairy tale, he the scared to come near. Trying to curb the thirst, the lust of flesh getting worse the more that you bear. War between us and the demons, when they see us flee a fear. Better believe what a priest does, or bleed cause death in the air. I see dead people, devils everywhere through the veil. Night of the living dead, he is scheming up evil, destroy people that believe him. Night of the living dead, when I spit a killing, bring you back to living, Lord willing. Night of the living dead, when the sunrise shall not smite me, no by moonlight of the living dead. Trust the night, illuminated by the sight of the moon bright, full of right. We're inside a fight through the twilights. Lose your life if you seek. Out here sleeping at the least. It'll be by a creep off of the geek, addicted to get a piece. And these Pharisees, vampire desires, living the feast. Looking the victims dry, flesh your eyes, hypnotized, blind to see. Turning them beasts, infrared vision with the heat. Pick up a lick enough just to eat. Warm blood in the street, it reek. And these witches make up, they look delicious with the smoke, get you dizzy. Both spells get you for riches, and demons like policemen scheming, watching every move, deceiving. Some of them told to get out of hell and sold they soul. It's cold in the shadows, full of creatures and killers. Just might be on the wrong end of dinner. Fatal feature, nothing real is a thriller. Let's shoot and door to enter this nightmare, fighting in sleep. Lord, allow you wake, hearing exorcism, helping healing dealings of a priest. Just alert the earth. A monster fairy tale, he the scared to come near. Try to curb the thirst, the lust of flesh getting worse the more that you bear. War between us and the demons, when they see us flee a fear. Better believe what a priest does, or bleed cause death in the air. I see dead people, devils everywhere through the veil. Night of the living dead, he is scheming up evil, destroy people that believe him. Night of the living dead, when I spit a killing, bring you back to living, Lord willing. Night of the living dead, when the sunrise shall not smite me, no by moonlight of the living dead. I'm a priest, warrior day and night time, cutting creeps, witches, Frankensteins, Pharisees like vampires. And I'm watching for demons scheming, plotting, trying to stop my eating. Want to see me cage beating, bleeding, to see 6 feet deeping. But I ain't sleeping to the early light. Don't fall for the spell of the bite. The witches in flight, they calling on all men, they be gobbling. With no causes, both running like a faucet. The lone man hating all men. You never learn to shut your jaws, which caught in the fog, them wizards think they monster ballin'. Till them devils come across and send them werewolf dogs in. Our steps stay wild on the prowl, it's probably them howling out now. Night owls be looking at who ain't got nothing to do but get caught up in ruin. And I say prepare to be head, pull a sword, cut to shreds. Kim and mummies rapping that, cap get left, a bloody mess. Unraveling where it happened at, simply ravishing. Like cats crossing my path for aftermath, for taking no heed. Wanting the beast, at least for my brother, Lord, let me be. Cause alert the earth, a monster fairy tale, he the scared to come near. Try to curb the thirst, the lust of flesh getting worse the more that you bear. War between us and the demons, when they see us flee a fear. Better believe what a priest does, or bleed cause death in the air. I see dead people people, devils everywhere through the veil. Night of the living dead. Demons scheming up evil, destroying people that believe him. Night of the living dead. When I spit a killing, bring you back to living, Lord willing. Night of the living dead. When the sunrise shall not smite me, know my moon. Night of the living dead. Night of the living dead.
Yo, shalom, 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 shalom. Yo, let's clap it up for law class, the biblical law class. Yo, shalom, Israel. I'm preaching Officer Gakawan. We are the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. We started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. And since 1969, we have been teaching our people the truth. We have been bringing the world the truth. We have been bringing Atlanta the truth. We've been bringing New York the truth. We've been bringing every state the truth, man, since 1969, man, of who the true children of Israel are, man. True children of Israel are not the Jewish people over there in the state of Israel. They're not the Israelis. They're not the Zionists. The true children of Israel are blacks, Native Indians, and Hispanics. Right. And we've been teaching that since 1969 under Commanding General YAHANNA. Salaki. So we just bring out the truth, man. We bring out the truth in these scriptures. We bring out who the true people of the Bible are. We bring out our true identity. We bring out our culture. We teach our people our heritage, and we take our people back to our way of living, man. And when we can get back to our way of living, man, we can get our birthright back, man. That birthright that we that was originally was going to Esau, but it was really meant for Jacob, man. So we back here. We just get back to these scriptures, man, and claiming our true birthright, and we claim our true culture, man, according to the scriptures, man. In these scriptures, man, we bring out in these scriptures, we bring out our identity, man. And by us getting back to our identity, we can get back to the Most High's grace. We can get back in the Most High's good standing. We can get back to life, man. To life, man, and life more abundantly, man. So tonight's a law class. Tonight is Wednesday. We get in on the law. Yesterday was a heavy class by the Ottawa, man. Ottawa was teaching that good old brotherhood, man. He brought out some heavy scriptures, man. I might touch on some of the scriptures the Ottawa brought out, man. He got on the book of Maccabees, man. And right now, I don't know, most of y'all should know we are in the Feast of Dedications, man. The Feast of Dedications is a 8-day dedication, man, to our people, man. We just celebrate our people reclaiming the temple of that time. Our people, they revolted against the powers of the Greeks, man. And most people think that the scriptures it's only 66 books in the Bible, when it's definitely way more books in the actual canon in the Bible, man. The Bible has 80 books total, man, and that includes the Apocrypha. If we get into Apocrypha, we can see that there is almost like a 300 or 400 year gap in between the Old Testament and the New Testament. That's where the majority of the canon was erased, man. And that's what we call the apocryphal books, man. The apocryphal books is about 14 books, man, that give us that span and give us that gap that go in between the New Testament and the Old Testament. So within that apocrypha, man, every book that's in there, majority of it is history. A lot of it are additions. A lot of it are additions to some of the old. Well, there's pretty much additions to the Old Testament books. But then again, it's what happened after those Old Testament books, which was after the prophets. So we're in the Feast of Dedications, man, and that's where you can find all that history, that wealth of knowledge, that wealth of history, man, on this feast, man, and what it all encompasses, man. You can find that history in the book of Maccabees, and that was brought out yesterday. We had the Feast of Dedications on Sunday, man. Let's clap it up for that, man. That was a heavy feast, man. That was a glorious occasion. It was a heavy outing, man. All the Adawanium came through, man. We had the Akium in the building. We had the sisters in the building. We had the little jits out here, man. We had the children out here kicking it. They was playing. Kids was out here till 12 and 1 o'clock in the morning, man. Past their bedtime. We shouldn't have did that, man. So like it to the mamas out there, man. Shouldn't have had the kids out there kicking it so late, man. But the kids was having a glorious time, man. They was enjoying themselves, man. It was a good occasion, man. They was back here on the PS5, man. We had the board games out, man. They had the music pumping. We was kicking it, man. How the real Hebrews kick it, man. We was kicking it how our real ancestors kick it in the Bible, man. And we just hark on bringing back our culture, man, and bringing it back how we used to do it, man. We take it back to the days of old, man. So the Feast of Dedication, that was a glorious occasion. It was dope. We had a good time. Kids had a good time. Sisters had a good time. The brothers had a good time, man. And we are in that 8-day span. So I'm probably going to touch on some of the Maccabees too. More so touch on the Feast of Dedications, man. We celebrate the Feast of Dedications because Christ celebrated the Feast of Dedications. Right. Let me find that scripture, man, where we can prove that Christ celebrated the Feast of Dedications. He did not celebrate his birthday. Right. Christ did not celebrate his birthday because Israelites and Hebrews did not celebrate birthdays. Right. It's not in our culture. Birthdays, Christmas definitely is not a part of our culture. Christ wasn't even born in December, which is kind of crazy that we even celebrate or make a holy day out of Christmas. For one, Christ wasn't born in December. Christ was not born in the winter. He was more so born in the spring. Like when you read the scriptures, you'll see that Christ, when he was born, you will see that shepherds were outside tending to flocks. Right. You will never in no part on this planet ever see shepherds tending to flocks in the winter outside. I mean, you'll see them tending to flocks, but they won't be outside tending to flocks in the winter. So for one, that's strike one. Christ was not born in December. Two, Christ didn't celebrate birthdays. Nobody in our ancestral lineage, nobody in our family tree ever celebrated birthdays, man. Birthdays are not a part of our culture, man. If we look up where birthdays started, if we look up the origin of birthdays, look up who originated the birthday worship or who originated the celebration of birthdays, we'll see. There he is. Shalom, Lord in Christ. Yahweh Shem Yeshua Barakatah, brother. No doubt. Good to see you, brother. If we look up in Google, who is the originator of birthdays or where birthdays first started or who first started celebrating birthdays, we will see that birthdays started from the Egyptians. Someone who oppressed us in the past, like in antiquity, the Egyptians oppressed us, man. And birthdays started from that group of people, man. That's their culture. It started with the Egyptians. Then, of course, who stole the Egyptians' way of living or who stole the Egyptians' culture? The Greeks. Right. Then it goes to another people that had us in captivity. The Greeks. That is the second group of people that kind of made birthdays known and kind of took the torch with birthdays and kind of they took the helm of celebrating birthdays. After the Greeks, then the Romans took on that culture. And that's because they all share a common culture, man. And these are all people that had us in captivity, man. So birthday celebrations and birthday worship, birthday recognition and giving gifts, that is an oppressor's way of thinking. That's a Christian way of thinking. And that is the white man's way of thinking, who is the devil the Bible speaks of. That's also what we've been teaching since 1969. We teach our people who they are, identity-wise, and we teach our people who their enemies are. Identity wise, man, because the Bible is a history book, man. It's a historical document. These are historical records that we can prove. History is actually catching up to the Bible. So when we get into the Bible, man, we're not looking at it as a fable. What's it? Aesop's fable book. This ain't what's it called? This ain't a storytelling book. This ain't no fairy tale, man. The Bible is literally a history book, man, and all the history records in the Bible can be validated. They can be verified. They can be proven through a lot of archaeology. And archaeology is literally just catching up with the Bible. The Bible is a history book, man, that has been the most not even verifiable. It's been the most reliable source of information on the planet since the Dead Sea Scrolls. Since King James, who was a black man, sanctioned the translation of the Bible. Most people think that the King James Bible is a fraud, or they think that it's false. They think that translation got caught up into into some falsities. They don't believe in the King James Bible. But most people who don't believe in the King James Bible, they be reading that book of Enoch. They be reading that book of the book of Thomas. They be reading these weird Gnostic books that are known forgeries and that are known pseudepigraphals. If you look up that term pseudepigrapha, it means that the author, it's actually a forgery, that they can't prove who the author is. And when you read these little weird books or whatever, you'll see that or whatever. Most people, you know, they think that the Bible was lost in translation. Translation was translated wrong, but the Bible is a history book, man. So we get back to our history and telling our people who they are. And we tell our people who the enemy is, man, and not to forget the enemy. We're not telling you to get out here and go on your job and throw shoot birds at your boss. And nah, don't do that, man. The scriptures say be wise as a serpent, but gentle as a dove. You got to learn know how to move, and you got to kind of learn and know how to win the game. Like life is a game, and you got to know how to move, and you got to know how to win this game. Like we ain't out here playing. Like all of us got slaves, which we call your slave is your job. Everybody has a career. Everybody has ways of feeding their family. We ain't telling y'all to go out here and ruin how you feed your family. Do not do that. Don't go out there and tell the white man he's the devil that the Bible speaks of. Don't do that. But you get out here and you move wise as a serpent. You get out here and you move wisely. You play the game as it should be played, man. So that's just a few things that we get on. We're going to get into these birthdays, man. Birthdays that started with the Egyptians, for one. For two, it went to the Greeks. After the Greeks, it went to the Romans. And after the Romans, every European country comes from Rome. Once Rome broke up, you get the European, you get the Spanos, the Spain, you get the Anglo-Saxons, you get the England, you get the Italy, you get the France, the Germany. That all comes from the Roman Empire. And that the European nations that came from the Roman Empire, they birthed America. America came from the European nations. Every European nation, they are the bastard children of the European nations. And that's why the scriptures, basically call America the daughter of the whore, the daughter of Babylon. Right. And that's why we get all of those traditions. That's why we celebrate birthdays. You celebrate birthdays because your slave master made you celebrate birthdays when you were in slavery. You celebrate birthdays because the oppressor took your culture, destroyed it, whitewashed it, and gave it back to you. And then he threw birthdays in there. Then he threw Christmas in there because he celebrated Saturnalia. Because he celebrated and worshiped phallic symbols and phalluses. He worshipped fertility gods. They had a whole festival from December 17th to like the 23rd, and expanded on. It was like it's almost like our 8-day festival. They stole everything that we did traditionally and everything that we held holy, and they mixed it. They remixed it, man. It's like they re-rocked it up like some work. Right. with the white man is the biggest man, yo. So the oppressor is the biggest drug dealer that we all know. So he re-rocked the work the same way he re-rocked our traditions, man. And that's how they gave us like history. That's how they gave us Christmas, and that's why we celebrate birthdays. Long story short, to bring it back home, how we even got into birthdays. Matter of fact, let's Google that. Yeah, where the birthdays come from, and then we're gonna Google a little bit of Christmas as well. How we even got into that, man, was us celebrating the feast of Hanukkah. That's the actual way of saying it. The Israelis or the Jewish man, he calls it Hanukkah. We call it Hanukkah. That's the traditional way of saying it. That's our paleo. That's the Lashon Kodash. That's the paleo Hebraic way of saying feast of dedications, or Hanukkah, which is Hanukkah. Feast of dedications, man. So we're gonna get into how Jesus celebrated the feast of dedications as well. I believe we can find that in Luke. But let's get on the history, man, of birthdays and where they came from. I'm pretty sure we'll probably see the same page in there. Birthdays, they came from the Egyptians, But yeah, what you got? What came up on your phone? And then I'll see if it matches what came up on mine. Shalaki.
Yeah, just doing a quick Google search. I see that it says the Egyptians celebrated Pharaoh's coronation, meaning their birth as gods.
Come on now.
With feasts, not little birthdays, according to historyacres.com.
Okay. Okay.
And I have some more. It says the tradition evolved with ancient Egyptians first making rulers' coronations, birth as gods.
Mm-hmm.
The Greeks added moon-shaped cakes and candles for Artemis.
The Greeks.
Come.
Greeks adopted that. The Egyptians crunk it up. Egyptians were the first because these oppressors got everything they know from the Egyptians.
Right.
The Egyptians got most of what they knew from us. A lot of it is pagan worship, but they got a lot of that from us because Joseph was in rulership in Egypt for a good amount of time, and he's the reason why Egypt even survived past the famines that they had back in the day. But yeah, a lot of that Greek culture, which was Roman culture, they got it from the Egyptians, man. So we can see that the Greeks, they crunk it up with the birthday cakes. They crunk it up with the candles, man. Right. You see, we got the menorah right here, recognizing the Feast of Dedication, man, and recognizing our traditions. But yeah, the Greeks, they crunk it up with the birthday cakes. And what else?
Oh, you hit the nail on the head.
What's lucky?
And just like you said, a lot of their culture stemmed from the perversion of our culture.
Every time.
And it went from like the Egyptians to the Greeks, and then it went down to the Romans until us now today.
Come on now. Yep.
You know pretty much exactly what I read with what you said.
100. The water for that, brother. Let's clap that up, man. Appreciate that, brother. Hell yeah. So that's literally the chain of command. That's the that sugar honey iced tea that flows down hills, man. So long story short, birthdays come from Egyptians, man. That's who had us in captivity. Then it went to the Grecians. That's who had us in captivity during the Feast of Dedications. The Romans had us in captivity afterwards. That's who Christ was in captivity with. They were in Roman occupation. So Christ wasn't free, and those people weren't free. They were under Herod, an Edomite, who was basically under the conglomerate of the Romans. So all of that comes from, man, all oppressors, man. Your oppressor taught you to celebrate birthdays, man. Right. For one, birthdays are idol worship. You can see the origin of birthdays, man. Your birthday came from the Pharaoh who was coronated. That means who was placed in his seat, who became Pharaoh. His birthday became a date that they would celebrate as a holy day. A holy day is a day that is separated or that is attached to a god. That's a day that you're supposed to celebrate or worship a god. So they made his birthday a holy day for him being a god. So he basically deified himself, and the first birthdays came from idol worship, right, or making pharaohs idols. Long story short, man, birthdays ain't our culture, man. Right. Christ didn't celebrate birthdays, man. Christ celebrated the Feast of Hanukkah. He celebrated the Feast of Dedications, man. And that's what we in right now, man. So we're going to get into, I'm going to try and find that verse. I believe it's Luke, where we can see Christ celebrating the Feast of Dedications, man. And if we're going to be followers of Christ, like a Christian church says, or like, most individualites, or them fake Israelites out there that be a part of them cyberspace congregations who are led by the Spirit. We're gonna get into the Spirit too, but them folk, if you're gonna follow Christ, you need to follow what Christ did. Right. And by you following what Christ did, that means you're gonna follow the same holy days that Christ followed. Christ followed and worshiped the Most High and recognized his ancestors on the Feast of Dedications. And we can see that, and let me find it. When Christ went to the Feast of Dedication. Salaki, I got you 1 second. Feast Dedications. Dedications, KJV. So Christ, matter of fact, it's in the book of John. Can you go to John 10? The water, brother. John 10, verse 22. If we're going to follow Christ, we need to really follow Christ, man, in spirit and in truth. If we're going to follow these scriptures and we're going to follow our records, if we're going to follow our culture through this book right here, through our records, we need to follow it in spirit and truth, man. And the way we follow things in spirit and truth is by following what Christ did, man. By following the word of God. The spirit of the Most High is us following his word. And by us having that spirit, it's like you say if you had like a team, like how the Adamanium, they break it down. Say if you got team spirit, everybody, brothers that got their favorite team, cats that their favorite football team, cats that have their favorite basketball team. Right. You see an Eagles fan. What's the Eagles fan? How you gonna be rocking? Your Eagles fan, he gonna know all of the stats. He's gonna know the players on the Eagles. He's gonna know the best players. He's gonna know the Eagles record. He's gonna rock the Eagles memorabilia. He's gonna be wearing the Eagles jerseys. He's gonna have the whole 9 yards on. He's gonna look like an Eagles fan because he's gonna be wearing the hat. You're gonna see that stupid bumper sticker on the back of his car. You're gonna see that stupid sticker in the back of his window, and you're gonna know he an Eagles fan. That is a brother that has Eagles spirit, the team spirit of eaglery, if that's a word. But that's a real Eagles fan. You know him by the spirit that he has, by how he moves, his knowledge on it, what he does, man. Even as on the small level of things, you ain't gonna see him wearing. I mean, you might see him wearing another team's jersey or whatever, but you're gonna know an Eagles fan by that team spirit he keeps on him, and that's the same spirit you should have with the Most High. You should know these records. You should know the scriptures. You should know the Most High's words. You should dress like a priest and a prophet, man. You should know the garments that your ancestors used to wear if you actually had the spirit of the Most High. Christ wore those garments. Christ wore the same garments that we was wearing at these feasts that we rock. So by us having that spirit of the Most High, we need to look like it. We need to act like it, and we need to live like it, man. So let's see. Let's check out John. Was it chapter 10, verse 22?
This is the book of John, chapter 10, verse 22. Mm-hmm. And it was at Jerusalem, the feast of dedication.
Right.
And it was winter. Keep going.
See, now that was in winter. Feast of dedication that we just celebrate, as we can see, is winter right now. So we celebrating it at the proper time. These are the proper dates and the proper times that the actual holy days are supposed to be kept. Right. And the Feast of Dedications was kept in wintertime in the days of antiquity. This is when Christ was celebrating and was recognizing his feast and recognizing his ancestry, and what happened with his ancestors. Because I believe the Feast of Dedication happened about a little bit less than 200 years before Christ came about, maybe 100 and some change, 100 and something like that or whatever. But almost 200 years later, Christ was celebrating this. You keep on the water, bro.
I don't see nothing about no Christmas right now.
We don't see no Christmas, man. We don't see no birthdays. You can't even. Hey, come on now. Come on now. I don't see. I give somebody in cyberspace $100 if they can find anybody with a birthday in the scriptures. Right. You only gonna find it once or twice, and it ain't gonna be a Hebrew. It ain't gonna be an Israelite. I promise you. You're going to find the Pharaoh's birthday in the scriptures, but you won't find that one birthday in the scriptures. But you'll hear these fake Christians and these fake individualites talking about, well, how did they know how old they were if they didn't celebrate birthdays? You're simple. Stop being so simple in your thought process, man. Stop being so simple in your thought pattern. Just because you know when you was born, that doesn't mean you celebrated the day you was born. It just meant you kept record of when you was born. Stop being simple, man. Let's get back to these scriptures. Man.
This book of John, chapter 10, verse 23.
100.
And Yahushua walked in the temple in Solomon's porch.
Hold on. Start that over one more time. Salaki.
Come on, sir.
Christ walked in the temple in Solomon's porch. This was, read that one more time. Salaki.
Come on, sir. And Yahushua walked in the temple.
Verse 22. Salaki.
Oh, Salaki. Verse 22.
Read it through.
And it was at Jerusalem, the feast of the dedication. And it was winter. And Yahushua walked in the temple in Solomon's porch.
What was Yahushua doing walking in the temple at Solomon's porch, man? He was walking to recognize and to celebrate this feast. He was walking to keep this memorial. He was walking to keep this dedication of his ancestors, man. This is what Christ was doing. Christ revered what his ancestors did in the Maccabees, man. That's a heavy story, man. That's one of the heaviest. That's probably why the oppressor took them 14 books out the Bible, man. So you wouldn't read these stories about the Feast of Dedication. You wouldn't read the Maccabees. You wouldn't know about that revolt that happened when your ancestors gave their lives to raise a revolution. Our ancestors gave their lives to raise a revolution. Our ancestors were getting cut into pieces. Like I know, like a little while ago, it was a bunch of videos of like I mean, it's crazy, whatever. It's a bunch of videos of them Arabs cutting cats' heads off and all that good stuff. It was just as wicked as that, man. The Greeks were demembering our people, man, for keeping the laws of the Most High, man. And that's why we dedicated a feast, man, for that revolt, because we would not hearken. We would not bend the knee, as the Ottawa say. We wasn't bending the knee to these damn devils, man, to eat pork or to disregard or to disgrace our ancestors' rules that they got from the Most High, the laws that they got from the Most High, man. And in the Maccabees, you'll see that story, man, of our ancestors not disregarding and not defiling themselves by giving in or bending the knee or bowing the head to the oppressors. That was the Greeks, man. They gave their lives for that, man. So we celebrate that, man. We showing love to our ancestors for giving their lives, man. Just not to break the law. Like they kept the law and they had to give their lives for that, for keeping the law, man. So we celebrate the feast of dedications, man, to celebrate our ancestors, man, for giving their lives, man, for keeping the Most High's laws, man. And that's what Christ was basically visiting at this time. That's why he was at Solomon's porch, and that's why he went into the temple. Salaki. As a matter of fact, we might leave it at that because it kind of gets into a story that might segue it somewhere different. But that's basically Christ going into the temple, man, and celebrating the feast of dedications, man. So the reason for bringing that up is because we just celebrated that, man. It was a glorious occasion, man, in which I should do at y'all cribs, man, at y'all houses. If y'all got candles, it ain't even got to be in the menorah, man. I want to catch the menorah right here, but it ain't got to be. It does not have to be a menorah. You can get you 7 candles, man, but just to show love to your ancestors and show love to our peoples, show love to our forefathers for giving their lives, man. Light you up a few candles, man. 7 to be exact. Salaki. Don't light the 9. That's what the Jewish man does. You'll see in these stupid cartoons, these fake Jewish cartoons, you'll see them rocking the 9 candles, but that's not historically based and that's not biblically based. You won't find 9 candles anywhere in the scriptures. You won't find that. It was an 8-day dedication or 8-day feast that they had, man, to rededicate the temple, man, from them getting that back, man, in that revolution, man. This book is a revolutionary book, man. Like this is the #1 revolutionary book on the market and in the world, man. You want to bring the revolution? Niggas be talking about the revolution ain't gonna be televised. You want to start this revolution? You getting these scriptures, man, and that will get this revolution crunk up because Christ was the biggest revolutionary. But Slaki, what you got out of one?
Slaki, just piggyback on that.
Come.
You are to do that every day in your household.
Slaki.
4th day.
Big facts.
So you should have been doing it since Sunday.
Come.
Continue to keep doing it for 4 more days.
Con, not a one con. The water, sir. Let's do that for 7 days, man. Light them candles, man. Show a memorial or just commemorate our ancestors, man. This is this is a big deal, man. Our ancestors did some major things, man, and they pulled that revolution off, man. It was a beautiful thing back then. So boom, that's that. No birthdays, no Christmas.
Right.
Christmas is foolishness, man. Take that stupid Christmas tree down.
Right.
Man, it's crazy. Our ancestors was celebrating Christmas 4,000 years ago, and that's what got us in captivity. That's why we in captivity.
Right.
That's why niggas is out here mourning. That's why Negroes is out here spiritually dead. That's why Negroes is out here spiritually in mourning. Like we are spiritually incapacitated, man, because of Christmas. And our ancestors did the same thing, and that put us in slavery. Now we back in slavery. We back occupying America. You're not American because of things like Christmas, like idol worship, worshiping Christ as the Most High. Christ is the son of the Most High, and he always said that or whatever. But that's why we at where we at, man, by celebrating things like Christmas. Teach your kids the truth about Christmas. Santa Claus is a fraud. Right. Teach your kids the truth about the feast. Teach your kids the truth about these holy days, man. So with that being said, man, let's get into the Most High's laws, man. God's law, like the Most High's laws. The Most High's laws equals life. The Most High's laws is the key to life. And if you could, let's crank it up with the first one, man. You can go to Genesis. Let's start it from the beginning, man. That's how we can get a full understanding, man. The only way you can get a full understanding of a matter is by starting by the foundation. You get to the root of the matter of things, man. When you get to the root of the matter of things, then you can get the full picture. You can get the full understanding. You get the full perspective of the full matter. So if we can get to Genesis 2 and verse 7, God's law is life. And when God gave us the law, he was giving us life. When we got his law and we started to follow his law, we became living souls. We became living beings. And we can see that in Genesis. We can see that from the jump. We just got to read. We just got to read it with open eyes. You just got to read it with the understanding that Genesis is not a literal book. Ain't nothing literal. And I'm not going to say nothing is literal, but majority of Genesis is figurative and majority of it is allegory. So when we get into Genesis, just know that it's an allegorical understanding of the beginning. It's an allegorical understanding of how things started. So we're gonna get to the root of or the foundation of God giving us his law and him giving us life. Genesis 2 verse 7.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 7.
Yep.
And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life.
That's it right there.
And man became a living soul.
That's it right there. Most High didn't pick up dirt. Most High didn't pick up clay. He didn't pick up mud. He didn't pick up dust and spit in it and then make a clay man. That's not how man was created. This is allegory, like at its finest. The Most High got man from the dust of the ground. Like when you think about it, dust isn't even on the ground. Like when you outside and when you say you're out and about, you in the country or something like that, and you got dirt roads. Right. You ever seen a car drive down a dirt road? That dust ain't on the ground. Right. Like the dirt has to be disturbed for you to even see dust or for there to be dust. Right. For the dust to even come up from the ground, that dust comes from dirt. So I mean, it's nothing literal about that. We just have to know that dust is normally low. It'll come up high, but when it settles, it'll settle in a low state. So the Most High, he got us out of a low state. For one, when Adam was created, man was already created. Man was created in Genesis 1. Man was created on the 6th day. Adam was created after that. Adam was created after the Most High rested. So that's how you know when God chose Adam and chose the Adamites or chose that tribe of our ancestors to deal with, when he chose them to give them the breath of life, you got to know like he took his time with it, because this is after he rested. Right. It wasn't like he was tired and he chose them. Nah, he got to work. He created everything. He created man and woman, and then he rested, and then he took his time and got man out of the dust of the ground. That means he had to pick, because we wasn't the only group of people in the dust of the ground. It's all of mankind. He had to choose that one specific people, that one specific group, that one specific tribe to deal with, man. And he picked them up out of that dust of the ground, man. He picked them up from the dirt, man, out of the gutter, man. He got us out the mud, right. Literally. Getting it out the mud, that's what the Most High did, man. It's crazy how we come up with these sayings, man, because a lot of the sayings we come up with, it be biblical sayings, man. It's like, we've been here before, man, because a lot of the stuff is recycled, just like we recycle. We done been here before, but that's a whole nother teaching. Got it from the dust of the ground. What was the rest of it say? He blew into his nostrils the breath of life. Am I reading that right? Read it one more time, Shalaki.
Come on, sir. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life.
The breath of life.
And
keep on.
And man became a living soul.
So he gave him that breath of life, man. That breath of life he gave him was his laws, statutes, and commandments. That's right. The only thing you will see in the scriptures spiritually when it's talking about life, when it's talking about becoming a living soul, when it's talking about coming to life, quickeneth, you'll see that a lot. We're going to see some scriptures that say quickeneth. Right. You'll see scriptures that say coming to life, being a living creature, living soul. You see all that life, man. whenever you see that, it's always attached to following the Most High's word, following the Most High's rules, following his laws, following his statutes, following his commandments, following his precepts, his words, man, following his will, his words, precepts, laws, statutes, commandments, tomatoes, all following what the Most High said. Follow his rules, man. Most High got some house rules, and by us following that, then we can come to life. You can live. You can live when you follow your pop's rules in his house. When you wash the dishes, when you clean up your room, when you take out the trash, your pops will let you live. Right. Your pops will let you chilling you can play the game, chilling in your room as a kid. You can go outside. Your pops will let you kick it with your friends. Your pops will let you have a life. That means you will be a living person in your pop's house if you follow his rules. And that is literally what the Most High tells us throughout these scriptures, man. We just got to follow his rules, follow his word. You come to life, man, when you follow the Most High, man. And that's by him giving us his spirit too as well, man. Him, that breath of life, him breathing into the nostrils, that was him giving us his spirit. So Adam was the first to get the spirit of the Most High. The Holy Spirit of the Holy Ghost that Christians be talking about, Adam was the first to get it, man. So when you see that spirit come upon brothers, you'll see that life come into them. And when that spirit comes upon brothers will automatically start to follow the laws. You can't have the spirit without following God's laws. So boom, that's the first one, man. Let's kick it with let's get into let's do Job chapter 33 and verse 4, and after that I'm gonna jump to Psalms 104. Psalms 104. Like, it's crazy because like it's like without the spirit of the Most High, there is no life. Like everything is dead. Like you will be dead spiritually. You will be dead psychologically. You'll be dead mentally. You'll be thinking nothing but death. And I'm not talking about like getting out there and killing somebody. That comes with it too. But you will be dead on so many levels, man, when you don't follow the Most High, when you don't receive his spirit and get into the law, man, because his law is spiritual. So Job 33 and verse 4. Job 33 and verse 4. Let me get back to the basics on this, man. Get back to the foundation, the breath of life, which is the foundation. And then we're going to get into all these precept upon precept, line upon line, how these scriptures tell us that we must follow the Most High. Like you can't be spiritual. Like everybody's spiritual now. Right. I'm spiritual. Shit, I ain't got no religion. I'm spiritual. Like, what does that mean? I don't even think they know what that means. Right. Like they just know that by them saying they spiritual, that'll get most people off their back from asking them questions, because most people ain't gonna scratch at that. Most people ain't gonna scratch the surface on that. When they say they spiritual, most people gonna be like, oh shit, I'm spiritual too. Because spiritual, or the term spirit, is a common word. It's a familiar word, like familiar spirits. Those go hand in hand. And you don't want to mess with them familiar spirits. When people say they're spiritual, it's like, what spirit are you of? Because it's millions of spirits out here. So when you're spiritual, what spirit are you of? Right. But they just know, like, when they say they're spiritual, it's like you ain't gonna question it, because they could be talking about the Most High spirit, or they could be talking about the spirit of Orisha, or they could be talking about the spirit of that Hinduism, that Shiva, Buddhism, Islam. You can be talking about any spirit, man. And that new age spiritual type shit is that all roads lead to God, and they don't. These laws, statutes, and commandments, this book is what leads to the God of the Bible, and this book is what leads to the Most High God. Most High God is the God of all the other gods. That's who the other gods have to bow to, man. So to get to the Most High God, you need to follow these laws, man. Right. So I digress on that. Let's I say Job 33 and 7. You said 4. Yeah, Job 33 and 4. Shalaki. That's my fault.
Come. This is the book of Job, chapter 33, verse 4. The Spirit of God hath made me, and the breath of the Almighty hath given me life.
That go hand in hand with Genesis, man. Right. That's literally telling you what the spirit is and what the breath is. The breath of the Almighty have given me life. The Spirit of God hath made me. The Spirit of God makes us, man. The breath of life is what gives us life, man. The laws is what give us life, man. Matter of fact, let's go to Ezekiel chapter 37, verses 5 through 6. So God's spirit is what's gonna shape you up, man. That's what's gonna make you, man. The breath of life, or the breath of the Most High God or the Almighty is gonna give you life, man. He breathed his spirit into Adam, and that's what gave him life. And see what we'll also see a commonality in Ezekiel when he speaks on the valley of dry bones, and when he speaks on the dry bones. And actually, we might not even start at 5. We might start at verse 4. Ezekiel 37 and verse 4. Yeah, I like that. Let's start at verse 4. We're gonna read through 6.
Come. So this book of Ezekiel, chapter 37, verse 4.
Come.
Again, he said unto me.
So this is the Most High speaking. The Most High speaking to Ezekiel. Yeah.
Prophesy upon these bones and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of the Lord.
So prophesy, man. When we prophesy, the term prophesy or the term prophecy or the term when someone is prophesying, it ain't just you. It ain't you speaking in tongues, unknown tongues. It ain't you reading a fortune or telling somebody they fortune. It ain't you telling them, oh, this is what's going to happen to you in this many years. That's what most people, the prophets and the prophetess, they think that it's someone looking at a crystal ball and telling you what's going to happen in the future. That's not what prophesying is every time. Prophecy is literally just giving the word of God, just repeating the word of God and repeating the laws and telling people what will become of them if they don't follow the laws, because it's principles on this earth. It's principles on this planet. And the Most High God, he gave us the principles. He gave us the keys. Like when you see like Christ having the keys of death, hell, and the grave or whatever. I.S.U.P.K brought that scripture up last night at the end of his class. The other one, that was a heavy class. When you see principles or when you see the keys or whatever, those are principles. And principles they're foundational rules that if you break them, there will be foundational consequences, or there will be, it's like every action has an equal and opposite reaction. When you break or when you do certain things, other things are bound to come and other things will come or whatever. So when you see the word prophesying, the prophets were those who would tell people the law, and they would tell them what would become of them or what would happen to them if they broke the law. That's all prophesying is telling people what will happen if you don't follow the word of the Most High. I'm telling you the word of the Most High, which is his laws, but this is what will happen to you if you don't follow these words, because the Most High is all wise and all knowing. So he's only going to tell us what will allow us to live. He's going to only tell us what will allow us to flourish, what will allow us to live life and live life more abundantly. If we break that, we will be in death. We won't only die physically, we will be spiritually dead. We'll be physically dead. We'll be mentally dead. We'll be psychologically dead. We'll be dead on a lot of different levels, man. So with that prophecy where he says prophesy to him, he said prophesy to him the word of the Lord. So this is what Ezekiel is going to tell the dry bones. He's going to give them the word of the Lord. Let's see what happens to the dry bones when Ezekiel prophesies the word of the Most High.
Come. Verse 5.
Come.
Thus saith the Lord God unto these bones, behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live.
Another commonality. He started prophesying.
Right.
He started speaking the word of the Most High. And by him speaking into the words of those bones, he spoke those words, and that caused life to come into these bones.
Right.
That caused the breath to enter into the bones. And when the breath entered into the bones began to live.
Right.
Like it's a transformation too. Keep on reading. Let's see the transformation that happens when that breath of life comes in by prophesying the word of the Most High God.
Come. Verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
And I will lay sinews.
Sinews. That's like the ligaments. That's like the tendons. That's like your muscles.
Come.
You get muscles first before you get what comes next. Whatever.
Upon you.
It's ligaments, tendons.
And will bring up flesh upon you.
And you get the flesh. That's the next layer, man. You will be renewed. You will become whole, piece by piece. I mean, this shows you that everything is a process. For one, it doesn't just happen overnight. So everything it's a process. So when we prophesy to the people in the world, we just planting seeds. And when you plant a seed, there's a process that has to happen after that. You plant a seed, the seed isn't going to do nothing if you just plant it. It has to have water to hit it. Water got to hit it. So someone has to be there to water it. The Most High is what's going to cause the increase. The seed starts to grow those roots before you see anything coming out the ground. So just saying all that to say, I digress on that, saying all that to say is that everything is a process. Nothing happens overnight. Nothing happens the next day. This ain't magic. This ain't no story. This ain't no fairy tale. Excuse me, Salaki. This ain't no cartoon. Nothing happens overnight. So when we prophesy, we can't expect these seeds that we dropping on our brothers and sisters. When we go and prophesy to these people, we can't expect those seeds to just grow right there or to grow even the next day. Sometimes it might take weeks. Sometimes it'll take months. Sometimes it'll literally take years for people to start receiving the word of the Most High God, or for it to even to start making a difference or materializing in their life. Or like when people say, "Oh, we manifesting," to see something manifest. You see plants manifest after you done planted the seed and you watered it and you waited a couple weeks. Now you see it come out the ground. Right. It didn't just come out of nowhere. The roots grew because it was being watered. It's a process, man. So when we start prophesying to our people, we speak that word to our people. Speak that word to our people. Then that breath of life gets into them. The breath gets into them, then life starts to become. Then they start to grow bones. They got to get strong. Then they start to get that flesh. You have to get the outer part of that. It's a whole process. Once they get that flesh, what else?
And cover you with skin, and put breath in you, and ye shall live. And ye shall know that I am the Lord.
So it's a process, man. We get to prophesying, dropping these jewels, dropping these seeds on our brothers and sisters. We gotta wait, man. Be patient with them, man. That's why I had to learn from many Ottawanian, man. I had to get many of words of advice, man, from the mighty men above me, man, that like nothing happens overnight. You got to give people the same patience that the Most High gave you to even get you in the situation that you in. Right. Because before we even got to where we at, it took us time. I mean, it might have took some shorter time or fewer time or a shorter time than others, but it was always a process, and it always took time. Right. So we got to be patient with our brothers and sisters, man, when we prophesy to them, man. It ain't just going to happen overnight. It's going to be seeds that got to get planted. It's going to be a whole process, man. So as we plant them seeds, man, be patient with your peoples, man. When you kicking that truth to your peoples, when you kicking that truth to your family, kicking that truth to your ribs, your sisters, your brothers out here in the world, don't expect them to receive it immediately because you didn't receive it immediately. So you got to have patience, man, with people. You got to have, compassion for our people, man. And that's something that we lack as people, man. I was just driving on the way to class, man. I seen brothers and sisters in the back of a convenience store, man, in the cold outside, man. It looked like they wasn't going nowhere no time soon, man. I had compassion for those people, man. Hopefully, I get to run across brothers, man, kick some, drop some seeds to those brothers and sisters, even, allow them to come and get some of this food in this pantry we got, man. Yo, shout out to Mashiala, man. I don't want Mashiala running the food pantry, man. Faith Foundation is doing major things, man. We got a whole food pantry, man, that goes all week. We're the only food pantry that is open in the evenings, man. 7 to 9. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We have a food drive and a clothing drive every Sunday, man. So we out here feeding our community, man, almost every day, man. And even on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're not going to turn you down. You pull up to get some food, man, we're going to give it to you, man. We got the food back here. We got plenty of care packages, man. We make good packages, man, for our people, man. Saying all that to say, man, I see some brothers outside in the cold, man. I be feeling compassionate, man. I be feeling for my brothers and sisters out here, man. Like it's like that messes with me to see my brothers out here, man, and to see my sisters on the streets, or to even see my brothers that ain't on the streets out here living the way we living, man. That not only pains me, man, I have compassion for them, man. And with that being said, man, we got the food pantry. So, hopefully we can see these brothers and sisters out and going, man. And y'all should do the same, man. If y'all got anything extra in y'all houses, make sure y'all give it to our people on the streets, man, because our people out here suffering because we are spiritually dead. We out here dying on these streets spiritually and physically out here in the cold because we're not following these laws. Right. We're not following these statutes. We're not following these commandments, man. That's why we out here hurting. People that got it to eat, and people that don't have it to eat. We are out here spiritually dead by not following the laws, the statutes, and commandments. Slaki, you got something to say?
Oh, Slaki, Officer Marsar made some comments on YouTube.
Oh, Con. Dang, I ain't even been looking at it. Salaki. Everybody that checked in, man. Everybody in the comments, man. Salaki.
Con. Officer Marsar said every birthday celebration in the Bible ended in tragedy.
Good night. Con out of water, Con. Yo, shout out to you, Mom. Shout out to Water for checking in, man. You ain't lying, though, man. Appreciate that comment. That's 100, man. It's always a tragedy when it comes to birthdays. It normally is a tragedy, man. I done heard many a tragedies of brothers and sisters getting unalived,
right,
getting murdered, or getting unalived for birthdays.
Right.
During birthdays, in transit from birthdays, or leaving a birthday, or coming to a birthday in transit, driving, car accidents, because you bent, you drinking, you high and shit, you out your mind, and you ain't even see the stop sign, and you done blew past it, and you smacking a tree or something, or you done got into a head-on collision because you was bent and you won the race on your birthday. I ain't even gonna lie, man. I used to live trifling on my birthdays and my partner's birthdays, man. That's when Negroes is bent. We drinking, we high, we racing on the highway, we doing stupid. We cutting people off, and how we used to do it when we would go places, it would be a line, and when we wouldn't let nobody breach the line, we driving like Secret Service, nigga, and everybody hitting about 90, 100 miles, and we cutting everybody off, and that just unsafe, man, because we out here, man, doing it under the wrong guys, man, under the wrong spirit, man. We doing it under the spirit of idolatry. And when you do it under the spirit of idolatry, you out of the hedge of the protection of the Most High. Most High ain't got nothing to deal with you. He don't know you when you out here moving out of his will or out of his rules and out of his way. Even though we didn't know, I ain't know too. I mean, I grew up going to church or whatever, but I ain't know too much about the Bible. I never read the Bible myself until I got into the school. Until I got into the UPK, man, on the commanding, I never really read the Bible like that myself. Until I came in here, I started getting into the truth, man. But when we out here living in celebrating things that the Most High wouldn't have us to celebrate, or getting involved into activities that aren't sanctioned by the Most High, then the Most High got his hands up. He ain't dealing with us, and that is a terrible seat to be sitting in when you're driving down the road and the Most High got his hands up from you because you ain't following his word, because you want to celebrate idolatry and make a god of yourself with a birthday. There he is. Shalom, Lord in Christ. How about Shem Shabbat Thigh, mighty man? What it do, brother? Yeah, that's man, that's a sad place to be in, man, when you really ain't when you ain't in the hedge of that protection of the Most High, when you ain't in the safety of the Most High, man. Right. And that's what happens, man. You spiritually dead when you ain't following his rules. Salaki.
Before I was in the truth, when my old basketball coach, he used to always call us Hebrew and all that. He would tell us, like, you go out there, you know, mess with these hoes and all that type of stuff. Yeah, his standing, he always tell you, he say, God kill you, bro.
Nigga.
He always tell us that.
That's a good, but you need to hit your coach up. Tell him to come through. Tell him to come through to the school one time. Right. Come through to the next feast day. Come through and kick it with us on a Sabbath or something like that. Like, you brought your brother. Yeah, tell him to come through, man, because he ain't lying about that, man. You out here smashing these hoes. You out here living unrighteously. You ain't wifing these women. You ain't keeping these women. You out here throwing women away. You out here living frivolously, making whores of our sisters, making whores out of the daughters of Zion. The Most High will literally kill you dead. Not only will he kill you spiritually, because you'll have a reprobate mind and you won't even have a conscience to have relations with these women and throwing them away and not taking care of them, not letting them be your letting them be your responsibility, or having the responsibility of these women, and you out here making yourself a whore, making these women whores, man. The Most High will kill you. He give you that pack. He'll give you that clap. He'll give you that, huh? Oh, Salaki. The Most High will lay you down. He will unalive you real quick, man, by out here being a whoremonger, out here being a whore and making whores of our sisters. Most High won't have no love for you if you knew it or not. If you knew it or you didn't, man. But that's heavy right there, man. Like, yeah, that's real. And not even just with that, he'll unalive you with doing a lot of this other foolishness, man. Doing these drugs, man. Serving drugs and all that, you know. Most High ain't gonna have no mercy on you, man, living that type of lifestyle, man. But Shalakia, When y'all get the book of John? John chapter 6, verse 63. Matter of fact, Quatab, you get John chapter 6, verse 63. In the Quam, you can get Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 15. We're gonna go to verse 16 on that Deuteronomy. But yeah, the Most High ain't playing, man. He made it very clear, man. You will live, man, if you follow this, and you will be unalived, or you'll be spiritually dead if you don't follow this. He made it very clear. In John 6 and 63, the spirit of the Most High, like we're gonna keep on talking about these spiritualists and these spirit workers and these people that are led by the spirit but don't follow the law. You ain't led by no spirit if you ain't following the law. Like this, that don't even go. That don't make sense. You can't be led by the spirit and not be following the law, because the spirit is the law. The spirit of the Most High God leads you to following the law. It leads you to truth, and the truth is this law. It's these scriptures, man. So the spirit and the word agree. The spirit and the law agree to the T. They go hand in hand, and basically they're synonyms. If you could you read John chapter 6 and verse 63?
Con, this is the book of John, chapter 6 and verse 63.
Con.
It is the spirit that quickeneth,
the
flesh that profiteth nothing.
Con, that spirit, it quickeneth. The spirit is what makes you alive. The law is what makes you alive. It what makes you a living soul. The flesh, that carnality, it profiteth nothing. The carnality will kill you. Well, I gotta say, carnality will unalive you, man. You living by the flesh, it basically makes you an animal. Like the only difference between us and animals is that we're able to receive the law and follow it with the Most High God. That's literally the difference between us and apes and monkeys. You know, they can make a monkey talk. Like monkeys can talk. They got these little translators they put on monkeys, and monkeys can talk. And monkeys are smart than monkey's smart as hell. I don't know if y'all ever get a chance. I'll be doing this sometime when I get bored. Don't judge me. I'll be looking at they got this documentary, and they made a documentary on chimpanzees, dog, like in the 80s or the 90s or whatever. The chimpanzee wars, dog. And monkeys, they are having wars, and they've been having wars for years, dog. They go to war with other tribe. It's like a tribal type thing. Saying all that to say monkeys are smart as hell. They remembered everything that a enemy tribe did to their family monkeys, and they'll go and find that exact monkey that did it, and they'll wreak havoc. They'll wreak judgment on the monkey or whatever. Saying all that to say that animals are very smart. So the only thing that really differentiates us from these animals is that we can receive the law from the Most High God and we can follow it. And that's literally the only differentiating thing. So that's why the flesh profit is nothing. When we don't live in the spirit and we don't live by the laws of the Most High, we're living like an animal. Right. That's literally what makes you an animal. You'll be out here having sex with everything like a dog. You'll be out here smoke. You'll be out here dead. You'll be out here unaliving brothers like a dog or like a lion in the damn jungle. You'll be unaliving random brothers because he looked at you wrong. He stepped on your shoe. You be out here getting high. Like you ever seen the monkeys that be eating different? Well, I mean, but you'll be out here serving drugs, killing your people, and doing all type of animalistic things because you're living by the flesh, and that's the only thing that would make you animalistic, or that's the only thing that differentiates you from an animal is the laws of the Most High. Slakia, I don't want my bad. I mean, how you wait?
No. Slakia hit very hit the point that you brought out there.
Come.
You also have to realize is that by us receiving the law is exactly that. That's what separates us from the other animals. And understand that it's the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that receive the law. So that means that our oppressors and those that are considered against us, they're what? They're animals. Cook.
So they're literally animals.
Right. So that's exactly what he was speaking in Genesis 3:1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field.
Now that's a point right there, sir. So heavy.
Understand that these other nations are considered animals because they don't have the law.
Animalistic. Clap that up, man. Appreciate that, Adwan. That's a heavy point right there. That's literally the differentiating factor between blacks, Native Indians, and Hispanics. We got the law. The rest of the world didn't. And that's why they conduct themselves as animals. They're bloodthirsty. They killing, they raping. Not only that, the only way the oppressor could put us in slavery the way he did is by him being an animal. He's nothing less than he's nothing less than a dog. That's why Christ referred to the Syrophoenician woman that walked up to him as a dog, because her people were dog-like. They were animalistic. They were savages, like these oppressors that came from the mountains, the barbarians that spoke a different language, and all these Khazars, these hairy nomads, and these, Neanderthals that came from the mountains. They were animalistic. The way they got their women, they would club them over the head and drag them into a damn alley, or really a cave, and then they would have sex with a woman. That's how their whole lineage even continued, by them raping their own women, which is, it's crazy that they even put that like in cartoons and stuff, because a lot of cartoons, they have a little bit of factual historicity to it. So saying all that to say, man, that's literally the only thing that differentiates us from animals, and it differentiates us from every other lineage and every other tribe on the planet, or every other people group, or as in modern days they call it ethnicities or ethnic groups, but we call them nations according to the scriptures, man. So that's what differentiates us, man. We got to follow these laws, man, and then you won't be a dog out, you won't be an animal out here, man. Right. You won't be looked at as someone who can't control themselves, someone who has no filter, or someone who every time someone says something to you, you got something to say, or you got a problem with everybody. Everybody got a problem with you, man. We follow these laws. We learn compassion, and we learn to love our neighbors as ourselves. Then we learn to give our brothers and sisters the benefit of the doubt, versus always going off the handle on our peoples, and versus always not using that benefit of the doubt, but coming up with a whole idea in your mind that you gotta have strife with your brothers and sisters. But yeah, I digress on that. Shalaki, you got the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30 and verse 15.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30, verse 15. See, I have set before thee this day life and good. He gave us
an ultimatum. He said before us that day, he gave us options. He gave us a choice. Free will is not free. You do have a choice, but free will is not free. You choose that will, there will be consequences behind it, whether it's good or bad. We have we got the opportunity to have good consequences between the choices we make, and we have the opportunity to have death behind the consequences we make. Slaki.
Mm-hmm. And death and evil. And that I command thee this day to love the Lord thy God, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments.
That's right.
That thou mayest live and multiply.
That's how you live and multiply. That's how you Shalaki. That's how you flourish out here, man. We gotta follow these laws, man. We gotta kick the carnality, and we gotta get back to following the Most High, man. If we could just do that, man, if we could just kick away, we could stop saying the law is done away with and all that, all that nonsense. And it's funny because in Christian churches, they say the law is done away with, but they tithe.
Right.
That is ridiculousness. Like, why the law ain't done away with? If the law done away, why are you tithing, man? Why you even give the church money? Come on, what you got? What the hell are you talking about, man? Come on.
Which is so crazy.
What is wrong with you people, man?
Because I was just listening to like a throwback debate of Captain Tazari out there, and they would sit there arguing with him about the law being done away with. And then, he gets zealous, and he started using rude speech, he started cursing. And they say, like, see, you sinning. We like, what?
What are you talking about, man?
How can he be sinning and you saying the law is done away with, even though we know that, curse words ain't a sin to us, we know that, but, it's kind of like they double tongue and all over the place. One minute you saying the law is done away with, but then it's like you trying to trip up. You know what I'm saying?
Wilding.
You know what I'm saying?
Right, man. Come on, give us a hand right there, man. Come on, facts, all facts. Y'all saying the law is done away with, but you saying the brother is sinning. When sin is a transgression of the law. But the law you saying that he's transgressing, that's not even in the law because you don't know it because you said it's done away with. What the hell is wrong with you people, man? Like y'all is wilding, man. Y'all, I swear most Christians smoke weed, man. Most of them, they smoking weed when they go into the house, man. I used to smoke weed when I was a Christian. I come in there high and I'm leaving and going to get high as hell. Like I was getting high. I was serving niggas in the church too. Niggas in the Christian church is wild, man. It's crazy. They say us rude speech or when you use profane language, you sinning. But I mean, most Christians couldn't even tell you what a sin is. Like, what is a sin? They be like, it's being unkind or it's being, let's say, some weird junk. Like, it's not in the Bible. Like, what is sin according to the scriptures? And most Christians won't even be able to tell you because if they were going to validate what a sin was according to the Bible, they would have to tell you that it was transgression of the law. Right. And it brings you right back. It's a full circle. It's just a cycle, man. Most of our God just wants us to get back to his ways, man. For us to get back to his ways, and once we get back to his ways, then he can come and he will send he will send Christ back to wreak judgment on them folks that put us in slavery, dog. He will come back and put us back where we supposed to be, but we just too busy. We want to celebrate birthdays and we want to celebrate Christmas and we wanted to celebrate Thanksgiving. Man, my brothers and my sisters, man, I got compassion for y'all. I love y'all. I got patience with y'all, but y'all so crazy because Negroes be so woke and so conscious until Thanksgiving come around. They having the first Thanksgiving. Most Negroes that are blackity blacks and they know all the history and they know about these crystals and these Yoruba tribes and they know about all the black shit and everything that happened to us, but they be the first ones to celebrate Thanksgiving. Right. I don't be getting that. Even if you didn't agree with what's in these scriptures, you so conscious and you so woke, how you celebrating Thanksgiving, which is the third Thursday of November every year for a reason. They ain't put Thanksgiving on the actual date. They put it the third Thursday in November for a reason. That's idol worship in itself. For them to even put it on a Thursday in that November, that's idol worship, man. That's Thursday is Thor's Day. Let the Greeks or the Romans tell it away. But that's idol worship for them to even put that feast on that day. You having a big feast off of the unaliving and off of the genocide of black people. Native Indians were black. Right. Native Indians were blacker than most of us in this room to this day. Like if we go back and find the actual Native Indians, they were black as hell. And I'm not that's no slight at all to my Native Indian brothers that are fairer skin. They were different colored skin. They called them red. They had a different textured hair. That's just the northern tribes, man. They were us. Native Indians are us. Even the fairer skin ones. It ain't got nothing to do with color because we don't color bang and we ain't with that colorism. That's that Willie Lynch bullshit. I mean, it's bull crap, slacky. But yeah, it ain't about color, man, because the fair skin of the brothers and sisters can be our brothers as long as you come from that lineage and that seed of Jacob or that seed of Israel, whether it's northern tribe or southern tribe. So it ain't got nothing to do with light skin, dark skin. Even like the native Hispanics, man, that came from the Tainos, which are Taino Indians, or the Aztecs, the Incas, the Mayans, those native Hispanics, man. A lot of them are fair skinned now, and most of our brothers and sisters say they ain't even our brothers and sisters because they fair skinned. You are a tool of white supremacy, right? Which is a tool of Christianity, right? Christianity has been the arm of white supremacy since the Council of Nicaea, 3rd century CE. They have been the arm of white supremacy. And that's when you started celebrating Christmas in 400 CE, 100 years after the Council of Nicaea. That's when you started celebrating Easter and all that too. And they are the long arm. They the long arm of white supremacy. And that's why you think because someone is fair skinned, they're not your brother or sister. I digress on that. We keep Con, what you got? Hell yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Because we ain't on colors, man. Yeah, that's gang shit, man. Gang shit is lame. Oh, Shalaki. Gang-ish is lame-ish. They say gang-ish, no lame-ish. We probably the first one saying that. Gang-ish, no lame. Gang-ish is lame-ish, man. When you're banging on your brothers, when you banging and you serving your brothers, you serving death into the community, man. That's death, man, and that's lame-ish, man. That ain't life, man. You're not breathing life into your brothers or your sisters. But I know you got something heavy, my brother. Mm-hmm.
This book of Jeremiah, chapter 12 and verse 9. It says, "Mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird."
You said, let me get there with you. My bad. It's like Jeremiah 9.
lie, sir. Jeremiah chapter 12.
12
and verse 9, sir.
Okay, 12 and 9. All right, I'm with you.
It says, mine heritage unto me as a speckled bird. The birds round about are against her. Come ye, assemble all the beasts of the field. Come to devour. Yeah, I was just bringing that up because
it's pretty heavy.
You was bringing up a point as far as like how the Native Americans was real dark skinned. Some of them had woolly hair. Some of them was red, had straight hair. And then, you know, the confusion come in when you, like you say, you try to play on the colorism. But, you know, the Most High said, you know, we as a speckled bird, we coming out.
Man, get that up, man. I appreciate that, bro. Nah, that's heavy right there. Appreciate that. Now, that's heavy right there, man. We see in the scriptures that it's not about color, man. It's not about color. It ain't about none of that. It ain't about how you look, man. It's about your lineage, man. It's about who your forefathers was. It's about the seed that was planted into the ground. Like I always bring up this analogy. You can plant an apple seed in China. You can plant an apple seed in America. You plant that same apple seed in Africa. It's going to come out looking differently. Like most people don't even know, like the American banana, we the only people on the planet that has that banana. They don't weed it out. Our bananas to not have seeds in it and for it to look just straight yellow and for it to be a certain size to an extent. I mean, they come in different sizes or whatever. But America, they bred out natural bananas just for, I forget what it was. It was either for agricultural reasons because it was easier not only to maintain it, but it was easier to procure these bananas. They bred out the rest of the bananas because this specific banana was easier to sell. So that's why you had the bananas here. But if you go anywhere in the world, bananas look totally different. They got blue bananas in certain countries, like a darker hue of blue. You got blue bananas in different countries, but does that mean that it's not a banana? Just because it's blue, or just because it's smaller, or because it's a different color? Hell no, God forbid. The seed can be planted anywhere, but that doesn't separate the fruit, or it doesn't disenfranchise the fruit. The fruit is gonna be the same fruit as it is because it comes from the same seed. It could be a different color and it could look totally different, but that doesn't take away from what it actually is. And that's the same with Israel, man. That's the same with people, period. I might get checked for this one, but uncontrary to popular belief, you're gonna find Israel in the four corners of the planet. The four corners of the planet means you're gonna find Jacob everywhere on the planet. The Most High, he's gonna seed his people from every nation.
Right.
And every nation just ain't niggas in America. Every nation is every nation on the planet. Jacob is in China. Jacob is in small. The remnant is everywhere in every nation. So take that pill with you and swallow it. We're going to be everywhere. So we're not just going to look like this. All of Israel is not just going to look like Negroes. Some of us are going to be fair skinned. Some of us ain't even going to look like us. We're going to be like, damn, you sure you came from... You sure you Jake? Hey, who your daddy is? And then you go up to their grandfather. You see their grandfather might be black as hell. Unfortunately, a lot of our brothers and sisters, they done broke the law, man, and laid with them dog. I mean, Shalaki, them Seraphanite Shalaki. I mean, those they done laid with those Edomites, and you know, unfortunately, man, that's what happened, and that's where the pigment or the hue of our pigmentation will change, man, and was changed. So we're not all gonna look the same. We all gonna look different. A lot of us might be more fair skinned than others. If you could, we're gonna get into another one of what God's word is, and that what that breath of life is. That breath of life was God's word. Psalms 119, verse 50. And then I want to get Proverbs 6 and verse 23. I'm gonna read that. Unless you want to get in on me, Adawan, Salaki. Khan, I don't want Khan. I got you. This is one of my favorite scriptures, Proverbs 6 and 23. We're gonna read Psalms 119 and verse 50 first. 6 and 23. Man, because we perish because of lack of knowledge, man. And I put this on. My son just had a back to Christmas. My son had a Christmas project, man. Nice. Big boy Christmas project, man. Me and my rib, we turned it up on that one, man. The water, sis. The water, my love. We turned it up on that project. He had a Christmas project. We named it the true meaning of Christmas. The true meaning of that was actually the name of it. Now why would y'all? All right, so Salaki, my son, he goes to a Christian school. Salaki. But we be turning up in that mud, but that's where he goes. I ain't gonna hold it back on you. That's what he does that. But we teach him the truth, man. And on this Christmas project, we put the truth on what it is, as well as what we teach him at home, and what we teach him when he comes to these feasts, and when he comes to class, and when he comes to kick it, with his Hebrew brethren, or his Israelite sisters, the Adonai and everything. When he's around us, picking up the game that he picks up, man, we teach him what we teach him at home. We also do it before he goes to the school he goes to. And with that being said, man, he had a whole Christmas project, man. In that Christmas project, man, we put some good Bible verses on there. The true meaning of Christmas, man. We put that Jeremiah 10 in verse verse 3, 10-2, Jeremiah 10-2, 2 through 5. Put that on there. What else we put on there, man? We put the Amos 5 and 21 on there. The Most High hates your feast days. They ain't like that one, man. I put them Bible verses on there, and then I put a couple other little quotes for him to read off when he got there. He's 4. I put them on there. Like I put because like one section was what my family taught me, and one was that Christ wasn't born on December 23rd. All of the Christmas traditions come from pagan cultures and pagan traditions. You know how to say traditions too, man. So hopefully he read it or whatever. But man, these damn school they ain't even put my damn son's they put every other student's project up on the damn page. They put my son project up on the page, man. Y'all bogus for that too, man. Right. Y'all bogus as hell for that, man. It's all good though, man. Just because we want to put the truth on it, man. But we put that Bible verse in there. The reason why I brought that up was because another Bible verse we put on there was what was it? We perish because of lack of knowledge. And we perish because of lack of knowledge. It goes into the Most High will forget you for forgetting his laws, and he will forget your children. Like, y'all need to go and read that scripture. I forget the actual what the we perish because of lack of knowledge is, but it says we perish because of lack of knowledge. And the lack of knowledge that it's talking about is the lack of the knowledge of the commandments that we're supposed to be following. So us forgetting that the commandments or forgetting that knowledge, we perish. And the reason why we perish is that the Most High turns his face away from you, and he turns his face away from your children. So by us not following the laws, and by us not following these statutes in the word, the will, what most people say, and not following the rules of the Most High, he will turn his face away from you, and not only turn his face away from you, but from your children. Imagine not being able to locate the Most High. Right. You were living in a desolate place, man. You were living in death. Like there's no life because you're not in connection with the Most High. Saying all that to say, let's get to we can hit up Psalms 119 and 50.
Come. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 50. This is my comfort in my affliction, for thy word hath quickened me.
There it goes again. That quicken. That's a whole different book, man. That word. This is in Psalms. The last quickeneth was in John. That's the New Testament. A lot of verses are regurgitated. A lot of verses is recycled, precept upon precept, line upon line. Shout out to High Call in the back, man, for that one, man. There's Precepticon back there, but it's precept upon precept. When you see that quickeneth in the scriptures, that means to make alive. That means to give life. Yeah, what you got?
I was just googling that.
Yeah, hell yeah. And then if you got the Blue Letter book on your phone, look up the word quickeneth. Blue Letter. Matter of fact, I got Blue Letter. Let me go to my other one. I was looking at it in my 1611. I'm gonna go to Psalms 119. So this David right here. Psalms 119 in verse 50. So 119 and verse. David was going crazy in Psalms, verse 50. Whole 50 ball, 119 chapters. Now that's more than that, but David was going. That's why David is the beloved. That's what that means, beloved. Because man, he would go in for the Most High. But this is the book of Psalms, chapter 119 and verse 50. This is my comfort. What's my comfort? My comfort is my peace. My comfort is my rest. That's my safe place. This is my comfort. In my affliction, that means he found a comfort he found comfort in his what's the word? Affliction. Which is basically he found comfort in a hard place, or he found comfort in what's the word? He basically found comfort in a hard place. So what was that comfort in the hard place? For thy word hath quickened him. The word of the Most High is what gave him comfort in a bad place. Imagine being in a dark place. We've all been in dark places, and we've all been in places where we like, yo. I mean, I ain't gonna say everybody's been in a place where they was ready to give it up, give up, period, or whatever. But everybody's been in a dark place where you feel like there's no one you could talk to. You feel like you're alone. You feel like there's nobody that would understand like where you're coming from. Nobody would understand where you at in life or whatever. Everybody's been in an afflicted position in life. David found comfort in the word of the Most High. And that word of the Most High gave him life. That's what gave him life, and that's what took him up out of that affliction. The word of the Most High was the Most High's laws. The word of the Most High was his statutes, his commandments. When David remembered those things, when he remembered when he remembered what the Most High had told his people, we had told his forefathers, what the Most High had told him, he remembered, or that's what gave him life. That's what took him up out of his afflicted place. That's what took him up out of that dark place. Read 52 too.
Come on, sir. Mm-hmm. I remembered thy judgments of old, O Lord, and have comforted myself.
Dang, matter of fact, read 51, then 52. Slacky, my bad.
Come on,
let's skip one.
Verse 51. The proud have had me greatly in derision. Yet have I not declined from thy law.
The proud have had him greatly in derision, man. He's in a bad spot right there. Yet he never did away with the law. He never disregarded. He never said the law was done away with. He never compromised his morals. He never compromised his standards. He never compromised his values in that dark place. And with that being said, that's what brought him back to life. That's what lifted him up out of that low state. Being afflicted is like being in the dust almost. I mean, not all the way being in the dust, but that's like being in a low state. That word of the Most High is what brought him up. That word of the Most High is what uplifted him. That's what his loyalty to the law is what kept him alive, and that's what kept him up, man. That's what brought him up out of that depression, man. And read the next one.
Sir. I remembered thy judgments of old, O Lord, and have comforted myself.
Shalom. Shalom, man. He remembered, man, the judgments of the Most High, man, and that's what comforted him, man. That's what kept him afloat, man. Most of us just needs a life. Most of us in this world, we just need a life raft. Most of us, we just need a lifeboat. We just need a brother to throw that float out there to us, man. Because we all done been there. I done felt like I was drowning before. We all done been in different life situations, man. Them situations, man. With that boy me said, was in them situations I came out like a champ. What was that? I think he said something like that, some stupid shit like some sloggy. But situations, man. We all done been in situations, man, that could have compromised our morals, or that could have compromised the way that we move, or compromised the way that we react, man. But what David did in that situation was he remembered the laws of the Most High, man, and that's what got him up out of that. That's what brought him back to life. Shalaki, yeah, what you got?
Is that a precept to prove that the law is not done away with?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Right. Absolutely. David said the law wasn't done away with. So it ain't done away with. Let's go to Proverbs 6 and verse 23. It's one of my favorite verses. Proverbs 6 and verse 23. Damn, my phone tripping. Don't do that. I gotta. Oh yeah, I'm ready. I'm right with you. Mm-hmm.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 6, verse 23. For the commandment is a lamp.
The commandment is light.
Right.
Imagine being in the woods, in the middle of the woods at night.
Right.
And you can't see nothing. Like, it ain't no street lights out there. You ain't got no, you are in darkness. When you're in darkness, you can't move. You literally can't move. You're gonna be walking in the trees. You're gonna be walking in the walls when you're in darkness. The commandments are what give you light. The commandments are what give you direction. The commandments are what give you sight. When you have light, you have sight. When you have sight, you can see. You can see your next step. You know how to move. When it comes to different situations, man. When you have light, man, you have sight, man, and then you can see and you can move right. When you have that sight, you can move right, man, with the right light.
Right.
The light is these commandments, man. So these commandments are a lamp unto my feet. Now keep on going, Slaki.
And the law is light,
Mm-hmm.
and reproof of instruction are the way of light.
And reproofs of instructions are the way of life. That's what we do every weekend. That's what we're doing right now. We're reproofing our brothers and sisters. We are telling y'all that you ain't moving right. We are telling you that you're moving improperly. We're telling you that you need to get back to these scriptures. We are telling you that these cyberspace apostles that got the online congregations. Right. We telling you that they are leading you into a wall. They're leading you off a cliff. They're leading you into a tree. They're leading you into a collision. It is a crash course, man, by listening to these cyberspace prophets, man, because they are telling you that the law is done away with, when the scriptures are telling you something totally different, man. The scriptures tell you the commandment is your lamp. The law is the light of that lamp. The commandments is the lamp. The law is the light. That is how you see. That's how you can move right. That's what gives you sight. That's what allows you to see, man. That's what allows you to see the enemy when he's coming. If you in darkness, you ain't gonna be able to see the enemy. You ain't gonna be able to see the adversary when he throwing them blows at you. That's why the scriptures tell you the script. This is a war book. This ain't only a revolutionary book. This is a war book. This book is tact. This book is tact. You want to get tactful? You want to get into tactics? You want to get into the proper way of moving spiritually, man? This book will tell you everything you need to know. It tells you, even in the scriptures, man. The scriptures tell you that you will need a helmet of salvation. You'll need that shield of faith, that breastplate of righteousness. You'll need a helmet of salvation, because it knows that the adversary is gonna come fighting. We out. This is war, man. This is a book of warfare. The scriptures tell you that there will always be an adversary. An adversary is someone that is to come against. There will always be an adversary there to bring war to you, man. So for you to even be able to war back, you got to be able to see. You can't fight if you're in the dark. Things put a blindfold on you and spin you around, and they coming at you. And you got a blindfold on. How you gonna protect yourself? Not even like scratch the blindfold if it's dark. and yeah, you can't protect yourself. So you got to be able to see, man. You got to be able to see the enemy coming. You got to be able to know how to move when the enemy is coming. You got to be able to know how to maneuver, man. It's all about maneuvering, man, because situations can get crazy, man. And you got to be able to see, man. You have to be able to see your next steps, and you have to be able to know what your next moves will be. And by us following the laws, by us following these commandments, man, that's what gives us light, man. That's what allows us to be able to move properly. Was that all on that? Oh, yeah. And the reproof of the instructions are the way of life. That is our way of life, man. Us reproving our brothers and sisters, letting them know, man, that get back to these laws, get back to these statutes, get back to these commandments, kick the birthdays, man, kick Thanksgiving, man, kick Christmas, man. Christmas is nonsense. That stupid Christmas tree you put in your house, the stupid Christmas tree that your church has in the vestibule. The Bible specifically says that it is vanity and that it is vain. It is vain. It is a foolish move that our ancestors did 3,000 years ago. But your pastor and your church has it in his vestibule. There's a Christmas tree with stupid Christmas presents up under there. That is straight paganism, and that Christmas tree represents a phallus. It represents Nimrod's phallus, if you didn't know. So you got a whole phallic symbol in your y'all Google that word. You got a phallic symbol in your house and in your church, man. And when you got that wreath, that ain't a phallic symbol. That's the woman's member. The tree is the male member, and that wreath that you put on your door, that's the woman's member, and that's why they put red bows on it. The red bows represent that blood. Come on now, come on with the jokes, man. Kick that foolishness about the culture, man. That's why the Most High God ain't coming and talking to you. That's why you thinking that you hearing, y'all hearing them dreams, and you hearing that word from God, man, and you thinking that it's the Most High God talking. It ain't him. He ain't coming and talking to you. And you celebrating birthdays and Christmas. That's you talking to yourself, man. Ain't the spirit. But yeah, man, that's why we got to get back to our culture, man. We got to get back to our ways of life. We got to get back to the proper way we used to conduct ourselves for the Most High God to even recognize us and for him to even come and visit us, man. Because it says, man, if my people will humble themselves in prayer, and then he would what does it say? Then he would seek, or then he would turn his face to us and heal the land. We got to get back to his laws, man, and his commandments, man. The spirit does not replace the word, man. But we're gonna leave that alone. Let's get goddamn. Can you go to the book of Jeremiah, verse 30, 31, and 33? This is a good one too. This is a great one. Jeremiah 31 and 33. Jeremiah 31 and 33. I think this might be reiterated in the New Testament as well. But you'll see this as a prophecy. 31, 33. You can read that when you get it, Baba Kasha.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 31, verse 33. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel.
Good night.
After those days, saith the Lord, I will put my law in their inward parts and write it in their hearts.
So this is a new covenant right here. So the new covenant that he's talking about, it literally, read the beginning of that one more time.
Okay, sir.
Mm-hmm.
But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel.
All right, stop right there. This is the new covenant, and this is specifically for the house of Israel. So that's a cut there. Everybody says salvation is for everybody.
Right.
This is literally talking about the new covenant, and the new covenant. Say that one more time. It'd be for the house of who?
Israel.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. It'll be for the house of Israel, man. So this new covenant is only for Blacks, Native Indians, and Hispanics, man. It's not for everybody, man. Salvation is only for the Jews, man. When Christ came to establish that new covenant, he came to save the lost sheep of the house of Israel. He said he did not come, but only for the lost sheep of Israel, man. So that's a cut to everybody that says salvation is for everybody. But the new covenant, what does it say after that? That semicolon?
Come, sir. Mm-hmm. After those days, saith the Lord, I will put my law in their inward parts. He
will put his law in our inward parts. Now, I hear a lot of people say that, oh man, that's why we ain't got to follow the law now, because when Christ comes back, he's gonna put the law in our inward parts and he's gonna put it in our heart, and Christ's gonna do all that. Man, that's foolishness. That couldn't be much farther from the truth. Nothing in the Bible you have never seen anything happen just happenstance or by magic like that. I mean, we've seen miracles happen, but when it comes to like putting the laws in our inward parts, that comes from a generation learning the laws and establishing that with their children. That comes from us coming in here today and learning that the law is not done away with, right, and knowing that the law is something that we have to establish with our children by us teaching our children that. By us teaching our children the law, then our children grow up in the word and grow up in the statutes and grow up in the will of the Most High. They grow up knowing his rules. So then it will be in their inward parts. What are your inward parts? What is your heart? Your heart is your mind. That's your conscious and your subconscious. That's your second mind. Your second mind is your subconscious. Your inward parts is your stomach. Most people say, yo, I had a gut feeling. That's literally like your second brain or whatever, your gut feeling. Once you get that in your primary, in your conscious mind, then it can then start to seep into that subconscious, man. When you get that in your brain, that's when you that's when it will be in your inward parts. And that comes from a training, man. That comes from training your child, or training your children in the way that they should go. When you train your children in the way that they should go, they won't depart from it. That's a precept for that goes hand in hand. When your children won't depart from it, that means that whatever you taught them is in their inward parts. It's in their brain, it's in their conscious, in their subconscious, and they will keep that and they won't depart from it. So it starts with us, man. It's each one teach one, man. You want to break them generational curses that y'all be talking about? That's a cliche. I hate that saying now because it's so cliche because everybody be talking about it, but it's like, what are we doing to do it? For us to break a generational curse, for us to break these different generational issues and problems, it starts with us. We got to break it in ourselves first, and then we can pass it on to the next generation. Right. So that's how those laws get into the inward parts, and that will happen with this new covenant, and that's what's happening now. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing in I.S.U.P.K under Commander General YAHANNA, man. Right. We teaching the youth, man. We teaching the kids. We teaching people out on the street so they can teach their kids that the law is not done away with, that it's just rules, and that's just the least we can do. The least you can do is follow the law. That's the very bare minimum. The least you can do is not eat pork. Like, pig is not food. That's literally like what the scriptures are telling us. Like, swine is not food. Why are you eating that? It's like every time the Most High sees people eating that, he just be like, God damn, what the hell is wrong with these niggas? That is not food. Stop eating that. Stop eating that crab. Stop going to juicy crab. That's not food, man. That is used to clean the ecosystem. It's used to eat the shit. It's used to eat the trash from the bottom of the ocean. Right. Just like a pig is used to eat the trash off of the land. It's not food, man. Just like a goose. You wouldn't go out there and eat duck ain't food neither. Like, I remember I've had that before. It's not food. Rabbit ain't food. These are different animals that aren't food. He told us what is food and that's what you're allowed to eat, what is actually food, man. So just eat that, man. That's the least you can do. The dietary laws. Then we wouldn't be what's the word? We wouldn't be healthily dead. Our health wouldn't be dead then. Our health would come to life. Then we wouldn't have hypertension. Then we wouldn't be having heart attacks because our cholesterol is so high. Then we wouldn't be having diabetes. Then you wouldn't be having all these different ailments and different diseases from the food that you eat. If we could just eat what is actually food, or we could just eat what the Most High told us. And that's the least that we could do. If we could just treat our brothers like brothers, if we could figure out conflict resolution, if we could stop cutting our brothers off and cutting our sisters off because they offended you. You offended by this brother and sister. You offended by this cousin. You offended by this aunt or this uncle. You cutting them off. That's why the Most High God ain't turning his face to you, and that's why you're not blessed. Or that's why life isn't coming to you. That's why we are dead on so many levels. Our family is dead because cutoff game strong, and this person done offended me, so I done cut him off. No, man. Literally, the law is about conflict resolution. Right. Literally, the law teaches you how to love your brother, how to love your cousin, how to love your neighbor. I was just looking at I'm pretty sure y'all seen the video. Not Commanding General YAHANNA, but it was General Muhammad. He had a nuclear point talking about how you gotta go on that walk around you gotta go on that walk outside to the up the street with by yourself or with your cousins to even be able to deal with Thanksgiving, to be able to deal with family members. You gotta go on that walk. You gotta get high to go to Thanksgiving and deal with your family, because all y'all got problems with each other, and that's the only time y'all even come through and link up and talk is on these pagan holidays that your oppressor told you to come through and talk. That's the only time you can even fathom putting your problems to the side with your family is when your oppressor told you to. Saying all that to say, man, if we could just follow the word, if get in that Leviticus, man, get in Exodus, then you would learn how to treat your brother like a brother. Then you would learn how to treat your sister like a sister. Then you would learn how to forgive. Like I want to touch on the weightier matters of the law, man, because I got that too. The weightier matters of the law is mercy. It's compassion. That's what Christ said. Like, everything else is milk. Once we can learn the milk and get off of the milk, we can get to the strong meat. We can get to the weightier matters. Then we can have compassion for our brothers. Then we can have mercy for people that we offended and that people that offended us. That's why the prayer says, forgive me of my debts as I forgive my debtors, because we offend people too. And we will want to be forgiven too. So we got to learn how to forgive each other. We got to learn how to forgive, man. And that's the only way we can come together, man, and live life, man, and live life abundantly, man, is by coming together, man, and following the word, man, following the Most High's rules, man. And all the rules that he gave us is literally on how we resolute or resolve conflict, man. And that's most of the laws that y'all don't even want to read because y'all think it's done away with, so y'all think it's trash. And that's why you done cut off half your family, cut off half your friends, because you didn't know that if we just read and got into this life, we would learn how to keep our relationships alive. Then your relationships wouldn't be dead. Slocky, what you got, sir?
Slocky, by me.
Come.
Got a Sister Makia in the chat put in a heavy precept, book of Ephesians, chapter 6, and verse 11.
Come.
Put on the whole armor of God.
That's it.
That ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil.
That's it, man. That's it. Yo, the water, sis, man. Appreciate that. That's heavy. That's like that's a nuclear precept, man. Get out of hand right there. That's a nuclear precept right there, man. For us to withstand the wiles of the devil, we got to know that the devil gonna come with them. He gonna come with them hits, man. He gonna come with them jabs, man. You know, you be at work and that oppressor, he gonna come with some slick little jabby jab when he talking crazy. We got to know that it's coming, man. And the only way we can know that it's coming is by picking this up and reading it. We pick this up and read it. We know who the enemy is. And the enemy ain't your family. The enemy ain't your brother. The enemy ain't your neighbor. Your neighbor is your brethren, man. Your neighbor is your cousin that you got beef with because they offended you. Your neighbor is your uncle or your aunt that might they pissed you off when you was a kid, and now you don't deal with them because you had problems with that. But nah, these scriptures teach you how to forgive, and these scriptures teach you how to resolve that conflict and resolve that problem, man. The scriptures tell you to take that problem to that brother, that sister, to them and them alone. Right. And with that alone, that solves about 80% of the conflict we got going on. And if it goes a little further, these scriptures in the law, they tell you to take it to 2 or 3 brothers, 2 or 3 witnesses to resolve it, to resolve the problem. It's all that's in the law. That's the law that you ain't read. You ain't know that you can resolve your problem, the beef that you got with your best friend, or the beef that you got with your family member. You ain't know that you can resolve it by reading the law. But no, your pastor told you the law was done away with. So now your cutoff game strong because you ain't even know that the law in this Bible will bring your relationships back to life. Your relationships wouldn't be dead. Your social life would be back to life. You know, man, it's all in here, man. Like, this is literally the manual. This is our manual on how we live, man. This is our culture, man. We teach our people. This is our culture. This is our heritage, man. And just by getting back to the actual foundational principles of this book, man, then we can come to life, man, in so many ways and in every level, in every way, in every part of our life, man. But let's get back to these laws, man. I wish I could touch on a lot more. It's about that time. We gonna wrap it up, man. The water to everybody for checking in online. The water brother for coming through. The water Adawan for the Shamar. I don't know if it's any comments like that. Slocky, I ain't check in on them. I should have been better with the comments if it was any. If it's not, man, it's all love, man. We gonna say peace, shalom, man. Let's get back to the law. The word of God, the spirit of the Most High, goes hand in hand with the law. The spirit of the Most High is God's word. That word is his breath of life. And when he breathes that breath into us, that is law that he breathes into us. If we can remember that, then we can come to life, man, on so many levels, man. And there's so many different parts of our lives, man. So with that being, Con, what you got?
It's like real quick, big shout out to everyone that also came through to the Feast of Dedication Sunday. Put
for a fact
W in the chat if you came through for that.
For a fact, man, it was a glorious occasion, man. The water to everybody coming through, man. It was good brotherhood, good sisterhood in there, man. It was a good time, man. It was a good It was good. It was a good holy day, man. Now it wasn't an actual sanctioned holy day, but it was a holy, and it wasn't technically a holy convocation, but it was a holy gathering, man, and it was dope, man, and it was a great it was a great service and a great feast that we had with the brothers and sisters that came through, man. So the water to everybody that came through. Whoever's online or whoever's not online, man. The water to everybody coming through online. The water to everybody coming through for the Feast of Dedication, Hanukkah. It was a beautiful occasion, man. And we're going to keep on moving, man. We're going to keep on commemorating our ancestors that gave their lives, man, to follow this law. And we're going to keep on commemorating our ancestors that gave us this law and that passed it down and even gave us the opportunity to even be able to read this, man, and to even be able to get back to our culture, man. So we appreciate all the Ottawanian, man. We appreciate all the Akim that came through. The water for that, man. I'm gonna pass the class over to Priest and Officer I call the temple the water.
All right, let's clap it up one more time with that heavy clap. I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When new brother and sister come to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are here to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, the brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to brother or sister. There's another 6-month period in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, find that in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, and the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. It means tenth in the Hebrew, that's ma'ashra. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatever so amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. The next one we have will be, and real quick on that, understand we are in the 4th day of the Feast of Dedication.
Right.
So just how you see, you know what I'm saying, we have these candles lit right here. You have right Nur. Make sure that you light that daily. If not, you know what I'm saying, hey, get 7 candles. Just
that's right.
Those up. You know what I'm saying? Keep those, keep that going for the next 4 days. All right. So we'll be closing that out in the next 4 days. You find that in the book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 4, verses 52 through 61. The next coming is the Feast of Purim. That's right. The 14th day and 15th day of 12th month. That's Monday, the 2nd of March, and Tuesday, the 3rd of March. All right. Find that in the book of Esther, chapter 9, verses 20 through 31. All right. Reminded all Akim and Akwaf to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headbands, and scarf. And with that, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the brothers. Men of Israel, Majim Shabbat, Majim, Barak, Yahweh, and what we just said, translated from the Hebrew to the English, is Most High bless you in the name of Christ. Y'all can top, hands down. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters online. Men of Israel, Majim Shabbat, Majim, Barak, Yahweh Shemar, Al-Tham, Ba'ashem, Al-Shah. And what we just said, translated from the Hebrew to the English, is Most High watch over you in the name of Christ. Y'all can top, hands down, class dismissed. That's right. Yeah.